You're listening to Healing Voices Project, where we share stories and the latest information from people who fight addiction every day. I'm Mike Torville, your host and author of Voices from the Fallen. Thank you for listening, for following, and most of all, for sharing with people you care about. Make your voice count too. Hello everybody, thanks for coming back to Healing Voices Project. Today we're here with Michela Snape, Community Outreach Specialist at Compass Recovery Center in Agawam. Thanks for coming in, Michela.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Well, you as a Community Outreach Specialist at Compass Recovery, by the way, we've had Compass Recovery on here before, Dino Bedinelli, right? Who was there from the beginning.
He's the owner. He's still very much a part of the community.
Good guy. And you and I have spoken about coming on here for a while, so I'm glad you're finally here to talk.
Me too.
You've got a lot going on at Compass because you're in charge of social media, community outreach, and where your job, you support the recovery resources, and what you're trying to do is bridge the gap between the people struggling with addiction, treatment, recovery. You do a lot there. So first I said, let's talk about tell us a little bit about Compass Recovery. And then we'll get into what got you there, your job, and get into specifics. So tell us, who is Compass Recovery?
So Compass Recovery, we're an intensive outpatient program. We have 3 locations actually now. So we have a location in Feeding Hills, a location in Hatfield, and then we have Compass West in West Springfield, which is our Mass Health location.
Is that the newest?
That's the newest, It took a while for Dino to be able to get the Mass Health location up and running. It was a process. Once he got the go-ahead for the doors to be opened, he opened the doors up, but it took like 18 months for everything to go through.
You've done a lot in a couple short years.
Yeah.
How long have you been with Compass?
A year now.
Oh, good. Lots of changes. Has your role been the same since you started?
I joke around. I'm kind of like the Jackie of all trades.
Yeah, I had a feeling that's why I asked you.
It's definitely it's changed for sure over the last year. I mean, I've taken on new responsibilities. We had the Whoopie Pie Waddle.
What?
The Whoopie Pie Waddle. It was a fundraiser that we hosted with Joey's Deli for the Michael J. Diaz Foundation to raise money for a women's sober living house. So I helped plan that, which was something that I'd never done before.
Well, those are fun. And as you mentioned, a couple people and a couple groups. Michael J. Diaz, they've been on their program before. Great organization.
Amazing.
Wonderful people there. And John Cunningham from
I love him.
Joey's Deli. He's great. He's also been a guest.
Yeah, he's great. He's fantastic.
It's a small world.
So
that's great. So you work through. You're in charge of social media.
I do the social media. I'm posting pictures, videos on Instagram, Facebook, trying to just push more out there, get more awareness, and try to reach more people, let them know that Compass is here. And
we're doing a good job.
Thank you.
At least from what I see.
I try.
So you've been there for about a year. Were you in this type of work before going to Compass?
No. So this is my first time working in the field. I have like a lot of personal experience being in recovery and working with alcoholics and addicts, but as like a profession, this is my first time. No.
Okay, so you were introduced to this profession as an employee. But you were aware and exposed to the profession prior to.
I was, yes.
And since then, now how long? So you've had your own experience. How long have you been sober now yourself?
So I have a little over 2.5 years now.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the most amount of time that I've ever been able to stay sober consecutively over a period of time. 16 when
16.
I first started trying to get sober. Yeah. I'm almost 31 now. I
half your life.
Yeah, yeah. I struggled for a really, really long time. I was like in and out, in and out. I've gone all over the country. My parents sent me to Tennessee for rehab. I've gone to Florida twice. I've been to all of the detoxes and the rehabs like in Massachusetts. And nothing was working for me. I was like unwilling. I wouldn't take suggestions. I was very stubborn.
I was just going to use that word.
Yeah.
You were
yeah, a very
stubborn child.
I was.
Stubborn adult.
Yeah, no.
Something worked.
I think it clicked finally. I finally reached a point where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I was willing. That's really what it came down to, was the willingness for me. I was finally willing to do the work and whatever it took to stay sober.
You look back now.
Yeah.
And you think of all those years. There's no regrets. Do you have why didn't I have that willingness before?
I wouldn't say regret, because I think that all of the experiences that I went to led me to where I am today. And I think that all of the experiences that I have, like, give me the ability to help other people today. Okay. I can relate to more people, and
excuse me, you can relate.
Yeah.
Because you had an issue with alcohol?
Yeah,
and how did that start?
I picked up my first drink when I was 12, but I grew up going to Alcoholics Anonymous. My dad is 30 years sober. He got sober when I was 5 months old. Wow. So I was very aware of alcoholism and addiction. I was very aware it could be hereditary and passed down.
You grew up with it?
I grew up with it, yeah.
But your dad was sober while you were growing up, but you were still exposed. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have brothers and sisters, by the way?
I do. I have a younger brother and a younger sister. I'm the oldest.
Okay, so you were the oldest. Yeah. So once child number one was born, 5 months into that, he says, I'm done.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. But I picked up my first drink at 12, and like I immediately fell in love. I was like, this is it. This is the thing that's going to save me.
It changed you?
I struggled before I ever picked up a drink. I struggled with depression, anxiety, thoughts of wanting to hurt myself, self-harm. And for a while, I say that like alcohol saved me. Like it took those things away from me. And then, it became the thing that was killing me.
It was just such a temporary run, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Very quick for me.
So you drank, your parents said, what's happening here?
Yeah. My drinking was very problematic from the very beginning. I definitely showed all of the signs of early alcoholism as a young kid, and they picked up on it right away. And at 16, I tried getting sober for the first time.
Especially for your dad. He'd gone through it, and he's like, gosh, must have been frustrating.
I think it definitely was for him, and there was a while where he tried to like almost force me to get sober, and he realized that wasn't working, and so he learned from going to Al-Anon and going to AA and talking to his friends that he's the last person that can help me, and he kind of just would throw his hands up and say, the women in AA have to be the yeah.
And so you've gone and you went to different treatments,
different
programs.
I went all over, and like I'd put together some time. I've had 18 months sober, I've had 15 months, 12 months. Eventually what happened was I got sober off of the alcohol, and I stayed sober for about 18 months, and I got into a relationship with a man who had a different drug of choice than I did. He was an IV heroin and cocaine user, and he relapsed, and then I relapsed, and I started using substances, other harder.
So he relapsed, meaning he was sober for a while first, and when you got together with him, he was clean, you were clean.
Yeah.
But then he relapsed, which triggered your...
I had stopped doing all the things that you're supposed to do to stay sober. I'd stopped going to meetings, I'd stopped talking to my sponsor.
I got this.
Yeah, I was like, I don't need this. Look at how good life is. I'm fine.
That's a common thing, right?
Yeah, how fine I was.
Yes, right. So you started using again, but this time it got It got a little worse, got a little deeper because now you're
Yeah.
using heroin
Yeah.
with a needle
Yeah. Yeah.
and coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this went on for a while.
It's hard to maintain using those substances. So I mean, like, it would break me, and I would go to detox, and I'd go to a program, and I'd get sober for a period of time. But eventually, my pattern was always the same. I would stop doing those things that were keeping me sober, and then I would be shocked when I would relapse again. And so, yeah, I mean, it broke me in a different way than the alcohol. I was homeless. I was living in a tent by the Connecticut River.
You were still in a relationship?
No, at this
That
point.
ended, but you were.
Yeah.
The devastation was with you now.
Oh yeah.
You were homeless.
I was homeless in a tent by the Connecticut River, and like, I grew up in Long Meadow. If you had asked me when I was a kid if any of this was anything that I would be doing, I would have said absolutely not. There's no way.
What'd you do every day?
I would panhandle. I would cry. I mean, my parents learned very quickly not to give me money, which they were big on not enabling me, which probably saved my life more times than once.
So one of the hardest things to do as a parent.
Yeah. And you know, like, I put them through. I tortured my parents for a really, really long time. I had no regard for anybody but myself and my ability to continue using substances, doing what I want to do. I didn't care how I was affecting anybody else.
But they were trying to get you into programs.
Oh yeah,
and you said all over the country, right?
Yeah.
So they were trying everything at their
absolutely.
disposal.
Absolutely. There was one point they even started like a GoFundMe to help get me into a program, because I mean, it was like a very expensive program. My insurance partially covered it, and like people donated. Like, people wanted to see me get well and wanted me to get help and get sober, which was beautiful.
But you weren't very cooperative.
No, I was not. I wasn't for a while. There were just some things, like, I thought I knew best. I thought, with all of my intellect and my knowledge,
Do you hear that from people?
Oh, all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and like, I see myself in so many of the people who I meet now, like working in the field, in AA as well. But I mean, in my position at Compass, like, I meet with some of the clients. I'm kind of like the bridge, I joke, between.
Are you the first face they see when they walk in?
Sometimes I do some of the intakes, but I will meet with some of the clients and kind of help transition, facilitate their journey into like recovery also. And I work with them with, like, if they want to go to a meeting, I'll meet them at a meeting. Doesn't matter what kind of meeting, I'd be willing to go. I personally do AA, but I'd be willing to go to an NA meeting, Dharma, any form of recovery. But
and you recognize the patterns, the attitudes.
Yeah.
The stubbornness. I
see it, yeah. Especially in like any young girls. I'm like, oh, if you only knew like the gift that you have at your hands right now.
I think the example, for lack of a better word, they see you, and they somehow become aware of your history, that you went through all that they went through, and you were able to come through. Not immediately, I know that, but the fact is, even through all the cycles you'd gone through, so you were in and out of these rehabs, and I could jump forward and jump back a little bit, but something worked eventually. So you were finally willing. What went through your mind to say, okay, now I got to do something?
You know, I have children. I have a daughter and a son, and I think that's kind of what did it for me. And like they say, like, no thing can get you sober, right? Like, no person, no human being, like, can get you sober. And like, I found that to be true, because like, I love my children more than anything in this world, and I would die for my kids, I would kill for my kids, but I know that I can't stay sober for them. And I I can't.
That's what you thought.
Yeah, I can't get sober for them either. I have to do it for me. Because I tried doing it for them. Like, my mom's not an alcoholic and she doesn't really understand addiction. And she'll say to me, like, how can't you just look at your kids? And, like, how can't that be enough? And my dad understands because he's an alcoholic. And it's really hard, right? Because you're filled with all of this guilt. Because why can't I stop for my kids with how much I love them? Yeah. Right. And I think eventually, like, it was just like, enough is enough. Yeah.
You're married.
Married, yeah.
2 kids.
Yep.
And you're 2.5 years sober now. Yeah. So when you finally, did you go to a program?
Yeah. I went to Compass.
You went to Compass?
I went to Compass.
So you're a graduate of the program, an alumni. I am. And now an employee.
Yep.
So certainly you saw something in the program that you were there that worked, and also too the people there saw something in you.
Yeah, I joke around with Dino now, and I'm like, Dino, when I first came through, like, could you imagine me ever working for you? And he's like, no, absolutely not. And I'm like, I know, me neither.
Look how far you've come.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes it still baffles me. Sometimes I'm still like, I can't believe, like, I'm here. I can't believe this program that saved my life. Like, I have the privilege of working for it now, which is...
You walked in the door 2.5 years ago. It was the very last thing you ever thought about.
Ever. And so I actually, I went through... I've been to Compass twice now. So I went through once in 2022. Yeah. And I stayed sober for almost a year. Okay. I was sober from April 1st until March 17th.
Tell me about the relapse. What happened?
I got resentful. I got really, really, really angry, and I didn't do anything about it. I held on to these resentments, and I kept them in here, and I didn't do any work on them, and it got me really, really sick really, really fast. And I truly believed there was no shot that I would ever relapse. If you had asked me the day before my relapse, Michela, will you ever touch another substance or drink again? I would have looked you in the face and said, no, there's no way. Absolutely not. And I was telling I would have been telling the truth.
At the moment, it was true.
Yeah. And so I say that, like, those resentments filled me with poison. And I was very, very sick. I was very angry. I was, like, wishing bad things on the people that I was angry with, which my husband's also in recovery. He's great. And, like, I would be talking to him about this one individual, and I'd be like, I can't believe them. I hate them. I hope they lose their job. Like, crazy, insane things. Yeah. And he'd be like, hey, Michela, like, you can't really talk like that as a sober woman. And I'd say, well, Zach, like, I've gone through all 12 steps, and you are on step 9. So when you get to step 12, you can talk to me.
In other words, when you're
program.
Where I am,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, insane. Like, he saw it coming.
But you were just irrational. At the time.
Absolutely. It was like the relapse before the relapse, and I was definitely in that exhibiting, like, very just thoughtless, careless. No, not as a sober person. No.
So you relapsed?
I relapsed, yeah.
For a while?
No. I used for about, like, 2.5 days. Mm-hmm. I ended up having a seizure from my substance use. I had a cocaine-induced seizure. Mm-hmm. And that was, like, hours into the relapse. And I was just like, what am I doing? I can't. How am I here again? And so I called Compass, and I said, I messed up. And Michelle, the clinical director, that woman saved my life. I say all the time that Compass saved my life, but that woman specifically, too, I credit her with my sobriety, too.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean, and now, look, now you just, after you went through all that, then you said, so it needed work.
Yeah, so I went back to Compass. I was really scared. I didn't want to keep using, and I knew that if I didn't do something again, like if I didn't go back to Compass, I was going to continue to use. And so I went there, and the first time I was at Compass, I was still stubborn, still hard-headed, wasn't really like...
I don't need this.
Yeah, and like I still thought that I knew best and that I knew more. Mm-hmm. And then the second time that I went in, I was like, I don't know anything. Like, teach me. Tell me what to do. I took every single suggestion that was given to me. Every single thing that Compass said to do, I did. I just threw my hands up and, like, completely surrendered.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
But once you do that, a lot of people, it takes a while to get there.
Yeah, yeah.
And recognizing they're not as strong as they think.
Yeah.
And that stubbornness is a killer.
Sure is.
But I'm sure that the people that you see, you do intake and you meet with people to share your story, I'm sure they've got to look and say, like you, I would never, ever, ever be where Michela is.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like, especially with, I go back to the young girls a lot, right? Because when I first tried getting sober, I was a young girl. And, like, I talk to them and I'm just like, I tell them my story, right? So I tell them what I've been through from start to beginning, or start to end, right. Beginning to end.
Yeah.
And I tell them, like, you don't have to go through what I've gone through. Like, you have the opportunity right now. You have this gift. And if you take advantage of it, you don't have to go to the levels that I did. And some of them listen.
Those levels, too, and you talk about some people saying, well, somebody has to hit rock bottom before they... I always get not nervous when I hear that, but I cringe when I hear that, because I think rock bottom sometimes is fatal, it's final, and the rock bottom, there is no second chance.
No.
That's a problem.
I think rock bottom, it can be individualized too.
Right, it
like
can
a
be,
rock bottom for someone doesn't have to be the same rock bottom for another.
Right. And where do you define that? You know, if somebody, you hit rock bottom, and then you find out later, no, that wasn't. Something worse was. Yeah.
There's
layers.
I've learned. You can keep digging.
Right.
And like the choice is yours. When do you want to stop digging? Like, and so I think I finally was just like, I'm done digging. This is it. And so, you know, like, Compass is very unique. I've gone all over the place, right? I've gone to tons of different programs, treatment centers, IOPs. And I've always ever felt like just another patient, another client. Like, I've never felt like I truly mattered. I felt oftentimes that, like, the staff didn't even know my name. And so I just felt like another check.
Like, what does it matter anyways?
But with Compass, like, it was the first time that I ever felt like, oh, these people, like, actually care. These people, like, really...
They made the difference.
Yeah, it was life-changing, honestly.
Do you get frustrated with people when you see them and you see the stubbornness that you possessed at some point?
Yeah.
And you say, if you could just... I'm sure it's wildly frustrating for you sometimes.
So I struggled with it more at the beginning, right? Because I was just like, why, if they just listened, like, everybody...
It should be as easy as that. Just listen to me and everything will be good.
Exactly. If everybody just does what I think they should do, life will be great.
Do you say that to your kids too?
Oh, God, yeah.
Just do what I say, life will be a lot better for you.
And it's always, why? And I'm like, because I said so. I wish I could tell the clients that too, because no. But... I mean, I think now, like, after watching some clients succeed, and then, I mean, and a lot of the clients at Compass do very, very well, you know, but you're always going to see relapse. You're always going to see people that say...
You've also seen, including yourself, people say, I am never, ever using again. You could do anything to me and I will never use, and then yet
so I see that a lot, especially when people are, like, coming in for their first time in treatment. And I had that same naivety. I believed that, like, my last relapse taught me that I don't know if I will stay sober forever. I don't know if I'll be sober tomorrow.
You're just certainly more realistic.
Yeah, and like, I think it really scared me. And so now I know, like, I have to do, all of the things every single day to keep me sober. And if I stop, there will come a day where I will pick up again. But so long as I continue doing the work, like, knock on wood.
But also,
God's
does
grace.
it help? And I see so many people who are in this line of work who are former addicts, right? And they say, no, this line of work is... Do you think this line of work helps you to maintain your sobriety?
Absolutely. I think it definitely helps, but my job can't be my only recovery. I won't stay sober if my job is my only recovery. I have to continue to go to meetings. I have to continue to enlarge my spiritual life and form a connection with a higher power. I have to continue to practice the steps in my life.
As you said earlier, not to interrupt you, as you said earlier,
okay.
once you stopped doing the things, that's when you relapse. And that wasn't just once or twice, a few times. Once you stop doing what you just described and following through. So you in your mind say, I'm not going to stop.
Right.
It's part of your life.
And it's an everyday thing. I have to wake up and choose to do the work every single day. But it's a choice that right now I'm still willing to make, and I pray that I'll continue.
Do you think your life is vastly better than it was before?
It's incomparable. It's nowhere near.
I knew the answer to that, of course. But the trade-off of not doing those things versus a life going back, that you're giving up your now wonderful life for that if you stop doing it and you say, this is what I need to do to maintain where I am because I cannot go back.
No. And like I talk with clients too, like I was on the phone with a woman last night at 11 o'clock. My phone's always open for the clients, for those struggling. But we were talking and like she was struggling earlier in the day about wanting to drink. And so I gave her some suggestions. She took all of them. She called me back later and she's like, it worked. And I was like, it's so funny how that happens, right?
That's a win. Right?
And like that is like the whole reason that I do this. Like the ability to help someone, even if it's one person, that's why I do this. And like I couldn't work for an organization either that I didn't like believe in. I'm very opinionated. I'm very...
Well, I think they're lucky to have you, and I think you're lucky to have them. It goes both ways, right? You guys are... So I'm going to go to your job a little bit because community outreach specialist. You do a lot.
I do a lot.
And I know your job has evolved over the last year or so. However, we talk about social media. When you're managing, putting out social media, who are you trying to reach and what message are you sending out there?
Those still struggling or family members, loved ones of those still struggling. So people who are in active addiction or alcoholism, people who might have just realized that they have a substance use disorder or an alcohol use disorder, their drinking or substance use is problematic. And like most of my posts they all say like, you're not alone, we're here to help. I definitely want anybody who sees our content to know that like they don't have to face this alone. Help is out there, and how to reach us, how to access the help.
You getting responses from people?
Yeah, like it's funny. Some posts do really well, and then others that I'm like, oh, these are going to be really good ones. Don't get as much likes or reactions, but overall, like it's doing well. We get a lot of phone calls from the social media, the website too. Yeah.
Because social media too, and it's wonderful for that because you're reaching people and you're trying to figure out what message resonates, right? And there's a trial and error a little bit because you say, sometimes it works, sometimes you scratch your head and go, why didn't this reach? But there's also the other aspect of social media, especially with younger teenagers and younger adults, where social media helps. Well, it doesn't help, it hurts because there is such access to information, access to drugs, access to dealers. So you get that aspect of social media. How do you see that happening in high schools, for example?
I mean, I was struggling by the time I was in high school already, right? Like I started drinking at 12, so by 16 I was already finding myself seeking treatment. But I mean, I definitely will be limiting my kids' social media use as they get older. It's scary, right? It's really, really scary. The ability to connect with people all over, find things online. And then, especially with women or young girls, it's so harmful. Like there's these ideals and standards that women try to meet and face, what they see online, they think is real, and it's harmful. Yeah,
so you're always on the lookout for that. You have to have your antennas up watching, and your children are 8 and 6, right?
Still young.
So you've got a little ways to go.
Thank God.
But watch it because they get on that social media very early.
I know. It's scary.
So you really have a pretty full, busy life.
Yeah. And
married, 2 kids, full-time at Compass Recovery.
Yeah.
And That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's some days where I'm like, I don't even know what to do right now. But it's still beautiful, you know. Like I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Well, you've seen the other side.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah, that's something. So for everybody listening, Compass Recovery, there's 3 locations.
Yes.
One in West Springfield, one in Agawam, and one in Hatfield.
Yep.
How do people reach you?
Very, very easily. A referral process is Dino's like got it down to a T. So you call the main line. You can visit our website, compassrecoverytreatment.com.
Compassrecoverytreatment.com.
Yes. And then we have compasswest.com for the West Springfield website. There is phone numbers right on there. Call them. Okay. It's either going to be Clementine, who is the director of admissions, or usually myself, who will answer the phones.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple stupid questions, but I think for the listeners.
No stupid questions.
So, who would call and why? And that's kind of an obvious question. Yep. Who would call and why? What can they expect? And this is like 3 or 4 questions all in one.
Yeah.
What can they expect? And is it strictly outpatient, inpatient? How do you handle that? So
anyone can call.
Anyone can call. Who is struggling or a family member.
Yeah. Okay. If they have questions, they want to learn more about the program. Okay. Some people don't know what IOP is. So
explain it. What is IOP?
So it's an intensive outpatient program. Yeah. We run a variety of different schedules. Okay. The West Springfield location specifically is Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Okay. And then we have an evening programming also Monday through Thursday over there from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay.
And there's 3 groups during each day. There is a process group, a didactic and educational group, and then almost like a goals group at the end.
Explain what that means.
So
each group,
so the process group is you come in, you kind of sit, and everybody goes over things that have happened over the last couple of days since they've last been in, where they're at, how they're doing. You kind of go around. Everybody gets an opportunity to share and talk and talk about anything. The clinicians in the group, so they're running it, facilitating it. What's really cool about Compass is community is huge for us, so peers will talk to each other during this group too, which is, I thought, like,
that's helpful.
Very, and then the educational group, we run an 11-week curriculum. So we do relapse prevention, DBT, CBT, a family program. There's the 4 agreements week. There's a whole bunch of
and all that you just described.
Yeah.
Is and you know, because what people can expect, because I'm sure there's a little bit of intimidation, apprehensiveness about, okay, I'm going to call now, what's going to happen. I've been in there. It's a pretty warm environment, very nice people.
Yeah,
and so at the very least, even if you're not sure, make the call.
Absolutely. You can decide if it's right for you when we're talking. We only do outpatient, but we do work closely with some other programs who are inpatient. We do get clients who call who need to go to a detox before.
So even if it's not the right place to call anyways. You'll be spoken with, talked to, directed, and work out a way to...
We're going to figure out with you where's the best place for you to go.
Okay.
Obviously, some detoxes, like withdrawals, can be, they need to go to detox. Alcohol can be deadly. Benzodiazepines can be deadly. So they do need to go into treatment for something like that, because...
And you assess that on...
We'll ask a series of questions and see where they're determined to need to go. But... we work with some of the rehabs and detoxes in the area, so we're able to facilitate quick intakes with them as well if a client needs to go inpatient.
Well, you've had Compass Recovery has had a very good success over the last few years. Yeah. You are a shining example of that success and part of that, and so it's wonderful that all that's changed for you. It's a great,
I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
I'm filled with gratitude every day. It's sometimes still surreal. Like I'll say to some of my coworkers, because some of them were there when I was a client.
Yeah.
Chris, who's the clinical director of Compass West now, like I'll say to him, "Can you believe I work here?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can."
It's
yeah, and like I'll go to Michelle and I'll be like, "Can you believe like I work here?" And she's like, "Yes." And then I'll go to Dino.
But it's not the same Michela that was there.
No,
a couple years ago.
No, there was no shot that Michela ever could work in the field or any kind of professional position. I was unemployable. I was not well.
Soon you'll be running the place. So.
Oh God, no! Don't.
Well, it's great having you.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate your time, and I know we were trying to do this a couple months ago, and through scheduling and stuff. So it's great to finally have you here.
Yeah, I'm really grateful. Thanks for having me.
And Compass, you guys have been great, and we did an event together last July, and Agawam will probably do something else again in the future. So we appreciate your support and sharing your story.
Yeah.
So again, it's compassrecoverycenter.com.
No, compassrecoverytreatment.com.
compassrecoverytreatment.com.
Yeah. Now I'm second guessing.
Yeah, I know. It's long. All right. And Michela Snape, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Say hi to Dino.
I will.
And we'll talk to everybody soon. Again, thanks for joining us. Remember our website, healingvoicesproject.org. See you all soon.